Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures.
Going back to Killington though, what did your preparation look like getting ready for this mountain race?
So I mean, it's pretty much the same every year, and it takes a lot of mountain time. I didn't get as much mountain time as I wanted this year, but it's certainly, like putting in the vert. The last couple of weeks before I tapered, I put in probably around like 40 or 50,000 feet of vert. Because you can run, you can have endurance, but you have to put that vert on there because it's just, especially for the downhill.
Yes.
So a lot of downhill drills. I've actually been working a lot more on my strength, so a lot of like heavy stuff with both leg strength and a lot of hanging exercises. Like doing like shoulder taps and pull ups, things like that. Basically anything to just get like strong, like muscular strong up here or endurance strong, and then just basically making the legs mountain ready.
Yeah. And then how did you feel at the start line?
I felt great until, like I said, everything went wrong.
All right, so let's get into the race because I actually don't know here. So how did your race go? Walk us through it a bit.
So and it was started out okay. It felt good at first, the temperature wise. Surprisingly, the entire course was wet. It was just very, very humid overnight and all day during the day as well. So the grass was very wet. All the obstacles are wet, which the obstacles are fine, which I was happy about. Like I was able to grip them just fine and had no issues there other than missing the dang spear throw twice. Like,
Yeah,
that wooden part hit
hard
it
hit.
on the top part every single time. Like, and that it was very, very low. So I'm like, all right, this is because my girlfriend's short. It's all her fault.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe. Sorry, Liz. But it was like I said. So I missed the spear. I'm like, whatever. I can. So myself in first place. This kid Tyler, he was ahead of me, not by much. And then so he went by. I'm like, whatever. I'll catch up to him. And then I ended up going the wrong way. So they had a marker down, the ribbon down. I just kept going straight. It was my own fault, by the way. I don't blame,
Race
the
brain.
markers at all. Yeah, exactly. So I probably added about half a mile to a mile there.
Ooh.
Big backtrack to go back on trail. And then I was wearing an old pair of BJs, which are amazing, unless you've worn down the bottom, which I had. So I was just falling. I mean, got
Oh yeah.
all kinds of wounds. I ended up punching myself at one point, just like going like this and whacked myself as I fell. It
Fight
was
Club.
it was bad. I ended up rolling my ankle really, really bad on one of the technical parts. So missed the spear throw, went off trail, hit myself a bunch of times, and then the heat started. Fortunately for me, I was able to kind of get through the heat. Tyler, who was in first place, the heat hit him really bad
Yeah.
going into transition. So I changed my shoes, popped some time and just ate some food. Oh, that's another part. Actually, I lost all my nutrition in my vest. So
Oh no.
went to grab something. I'm like, nope, not there. Okay. Well, fortunately, they actually had bananas at one of the aid stations.
Well, that's good. As I say, you'd have to pull
Um,
like a bracket and find like goose on the on the ground and
yeah.
eat it there.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, there was nobody ahead of me though, so they're not.
Right. Oh,
So I got through, and it was just a grind from then on. And I ended up, just being like, you know what, it is what it is at this point. I thought about quitting. I'm not going to lie. I thought about quitting like before transition. I'm like, just this isn't my day. My ankle hurts. Wasn't swollen. It just hurt. You know. But I was like, once I got in there, I'm like, you know what? You've been through worse. You can get through this. Changed my shoes. Felt better with that, and just grinded the second half for the win.
I'm always fascinated by athletes like mind shift of like I feel like I could quit, I feel like I could quit and then winning. I've referenced this a bunch of times. I'm going to continue referencing it because it was an awesome conversation. But when I interviewed Des Linden and she talks about the Boston Marathon that
Mhm.
she wanted to quit and
Oh
she
yeah,
fucking won. And I think that's like the coolest thing of like, you know, I'm
it's
not, I'm not someone like me is not going to win something, but just having that in the back of my head of like, just fight that and who knows what can happen. Like,
yeah.
I think that that's important too.
And that's, it's not even like, you know, it's also not just funny, you know, like I want to see every single person like get that buckle. And I tell them, like, you know, like there's going to be so many times that you're going to want to quit. And I learned this lesson multiple times in the death race when I did the Spartan death race. You know, there was one time where we had to walk for like 8 hours barefoot throughout like all these trails and these gravel rocky roads.
Yeah.
And I remember like I wanted to quit so bad at one point, and I saw somebody quit. And I just looked at his face. I'm like, no, that's not me. And I just kept going. I was like, and eventually we got our shoes back. So, and that's the way I kind of saw this too. I'm like, you know what? My ankle only hurts when it's really steep. This hill's going to be over eventually. So
Right.
just suck it up. You know, it's not broken. You know, you can still walk on it. You know, obviously you have to be smart too.
Right.
You know, like if I honestly thought it was broken, you know, World's Toughest Mudder is my A race, I would have
Exactly.
found out, but it just hurt, and that's it.
Yeah.